الذين اصطفى أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم وهو القاهر فوق عباده ويرسل عليكم حفظة حتى إذا جاء أحدكم الموت توفته رسلنا وهم لا يفرطون ثم ردوا إلى الله مولاهم الحق ألا له الحكم وهو أسرع الحاسبين قل من ينجيكم من ظلمات البر والبحر تدعونه تضرعا وخفية لئن أنجانا من هذه لنكونن من الشاكرين قل الله ينجيكم منها ومن كل كرب ثم أنتم تشركون صدق الله العظيم وبلغنا رسوله النبي الكريم ونحن على ذلك من الشاهدين والشاكرين والحمد لله رب العالمين. Surah Al-An'am. Yesterday the ayat that we read, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had said that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who gives sleep at night or takes away the souls of people at night and returns it in the morning so that they could complete their days. And here in this ayah, وَهُوَ الْقَاهِرُ فَوْقَ عِبَادِهِ, He is dominant over His ibad, over His slaves. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has perfect authority over these slaves. And ibad or abd itself means that somebody who is under the authority of someone else. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is has full authority over His ibad. وَيُرْسِلُ عَلَيْكُمْ حَفَظَةً. And here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has mentioned another aspect of His authority. وَيُرْسِلُ عَلَيْكُمْ حَفَظَةً. He sends upon you guardians. So these guardians are the angels. And in different hadiths we understand, from different hadiths we learn that there is different angels at different points. Sometimes the Prophet ﷺ has said that if somebody recites a surah before they go to bed, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sends down an angel that stands by their bedside with a sword in their hand and protects them at night. Similarly, 24/7 there's angels that are protecting a human being from all the calamities except those that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has chosen to befall upon them. And when the time of death comes, these angels become assistants to the angel of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that extracts the soul. So as long as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has decided for one to live, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has sent and kept protectors with them, and death cannot overtake them. So life is protected until the time, the exact specific time of death comes, and then when that time comes, the protectors turn into those who help the angel to take the angel of death to extract the soul. حَتَّى إِذَا جَاءَ أَحَدَكُمُ الْمَوْتُ. So these guardians are over you until when death comes upon one of you. تَوَفَّتْهُ رُسُلُنَا. Then our deputies or the ones that we've sent, تَوَفَّتْهُ, they take his soul. وَهُمْ لَا يُفَرِّطُونَ. And they are such that they do not neglect from their duties. And this is a quality of angels that we have talked about many times, that they never go in the slightest bit against the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. ثُمَّ رُدُّوا إِلَى اللَّهِ. And the story does not end there. ثُمَّ رُدُّوا إِلَى اللَّهِ. Then all of them will be returned to Allah. مَوْلَاهُمُ الْحَقِّ. Now Hazrat Mufassirin have written that one might become really afraid that when death comes and that life is taken, soul is taken out, and then a person is returned to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is a thing of great fear, that death is going to come to every one of us, and then we are going to have to stand before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We are going to have to be returned to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But here the word Mawla has been brought by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which means the caretaker. So you are going to be returned to your very caretaker, the one who takes care of you and the one who really loves you. Mawlahumul haqq. They will be returned to their real master. So for mu'mineen and those who have maintained their ties with their caretaker, they need not fear. Ala lahul hukmu huwa asra'ul hasibin. Behold, His is the judgment and He is the swiftest of those who take account. So Hazrat Mufassirin have written that a question may arise, that how is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala going to take do the reckoning of, or question and do hisab of all the creations. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَهُوَ أَسْرَعُ الْحَاسِبِينَ. He is the one who can do it, who is powerful over doing things very swiftly, very quickly. قُلْ مَنْ يُنَجِّيكُمْ مِنْ ظُلُمَاتِ الْبَرِّ وَالْبَحْرِ. Now another point has been brought where people of kufr could come to sense, that ask them, who is the one who delivers you from مَنْ يُنَجِّيكُمْ, who gives you relief or nijat min ظُلُمَاتِ الْبَرِّ وَالْبَحْرِ, in the darkness of the land and the sea. So here darkness and light are things for humanity or for creations of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They do not affect Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. For Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, darkness and light do not matter. They are the same. They do not have any effect. But for humanity and for creations of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, darkness is generally a thing of fear and a thing of harm. So a lot of things can happen to people in dark because they do not know what's going on and what's around them. And this darkness of the land and the sea, so when people are in the night, even if they are on the land or if they are traveling in water, and things may come and attack them in pitch darkness, because when you're traveling in the sea, there is no light around you. These darknesses, and this was the way of the kuffar, the mushrikeen as well, that when they were traveling and this would happen to them, then at that time of calamity they would not call upon any of their idols, but they will call upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive them and to take them out of this. And they would promise to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that we will not do any shirk if you take us out of this problem right now, this situation. So تَدْعُونَهُ تَضَرُّعًا وَخُفْيًا, you would supplicate to him, you would call upon him, تَضَرُّعًا وَخُفْيًا, in humility and in low tones. لَإِنْ أَنْجَانَا, and you will be promising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, لَإِنْ أَنْجَانَا, that if you deliver, لَإِنْ أَنْجَانَا, if he delivers us from this, مِنْ هَذِهِ لَنَكُونَنَّ مِنَ الشَّاكِرِينَ, then we will become grateful, we will become thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which means that we will believe only in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and act upon his command. قُلِ اللَّهُ يُنَجِّيكُم مِّنْهَا, say Allah delivers you from it, وَمِنْ كُلِّ كَرْبٍ, and from every pain, ثُمَّ أَنْتُمْ تُشْرِكُونَ, and then you associate partners with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this was their way, that when they would come out of that problem, they would start associating partners with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala again, and ascribing partners and worshipping others. So this was about the kuffar and mushrikeen. But for Muslims as well, as other mufassirin have written, that this is a thing of great, this should be a thing of great concern, that when Muslims are in trouble, although in theory they believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and they do not believe in idols, and the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that I do not worry about my ummah being led astray because of shirk of worshipping idols in this. But Azad Mufassirin have pointed out that when somebody, a Muslim, is in a problem, is in a situation, what do they run to? Generally our attitude is that we think about what can we do in terms of our worldly means, that we can talk to such and such person, or we can spend this kind of money, or we could buy something, or we could do this, or we could do that. And it is a great misfortune that oftentimes we forget about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in our problems. Even the kuffar, even the mushrikeen would think of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in their time of problem. So what about Muslims? Muslims should think about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala even more, and they should submit to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they should ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala first and foremost to take them out of their problems. And then it is not impermissible to use the worldly means, but when somebody does that, then using those worldly means, according to Hazrat Maulana Ashraf Sahib Thani rahimahullah, even using those worldly means becomes a special form of dua, that you have your reliance on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now this is a practical amali dua, that you are using these means, but your reliance is on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If the reliance is not on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and only worldly means are being used, which is the way of, unfortunately, the way of many Muslim governments, many Muslims on an individual and collective level, then the problems do not cease, the problems do not decrease. As we see, the worldly means keep on increasing, but the problems also keep on increasing. And I've given examples that there used to be very few diseases that were understood in this world, but as our discoveries of the diseases and our treatments got advanced, there's so many more diseases, and there's so many other things that are becoming problems. For example, luxury and comfort is increasing in our lives because we are increasing means, but then diseases are also increasing at the same time. Similarly, if you look at any aspect when we have done advances in science, turning away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that science, although we may think on the outside that it's giving us comfort and making our life easier and better and more comfortable, it is not making our life peaceful. The problems are also increasing, proportionately. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us from all sorts of shirk, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us from running away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and make us those who submit to the will and command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in every situation. Alhamdulillahi wa kafa wa salamun ala ibadihi alladhina istafa. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin, salatu wassalamu ala sayyidil mursalin. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم. صلى الله تعالى على خير خلقه سيدنا ومولانا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. آمين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين.